What's up, everybody? This is Rob Shack. So today we're going to be continuing along in my Lupo Cup in GT4, Gran Turismo 4, and we are trying to get to 1,000 subs. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Help me get there. This is the Lupo Cup. If you're new to the channel, I've been going through Gran Turismo 4 at a very slow pace, honestly, but it's been fun. We did race 1 in the Lupo Cup. Now we're on race 2, which is on Nürburgring Nordschleife, and it's a good one. It's going to be a challenge because my car is slow on corners, and this course is how you say technical, so it should be good. But yeah, we're using the Volkswagen Lupo 1.4 from 2002, and we're racing against a whole bunch of cup cars, which are very good. And yeah, Lupo. I'm trying to race with every single car that I win in this game, which is why I'm putting myself through this torture of using this car in a race that I probably shouldn't be using it in. But we'll see how I do here. It shouldn't be impossible, but it will be challenging, especially because this car is very slow on the corners. It's not a cup car. It's not going to have that handling, so it's going to be a challenge. But yeah, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs soon, so that's the hope and dream and all that, just so I can get monetized, because YouTube doesn't show videos from classic games like ever, so that's what we're trying to do today. But yeah, I'm gonna probably stop talking now, focus on this, because it's gonna be a challenge, but I'll come back and talk in the recording, or in the replay. So Oh, right. Well, that was some of the ugliest racing I have ever done in this game. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad stuff. But I don't know how many of y'all are gonna comment on that. That was rough on my part. I drove terribly. They kind of stuffed me a few times, and I totally deserved it, 100% in the horrendous way I drove that first part of this lap. I got a little overwhelmed because they were so far in front of me, so I think that was why I got like a little bit aggressive. But then they just threw me right back to the wolves. So it kind of, I don't know if it fully balanced out. I think overall I benefited from all of that terrible driving on my part. I was kind of boxing people off and everything. But then at the same time, they really destroyed me too. So, I don't know. Anyway, that was hilarious. So we'll kind of watch through that and just kind of see what goes on there. I can analyze my horrendous driving. A lot of it comes from the fact that they can take corners very quickly. Their cars don't have a lot of power, honestly. Like, I'm pretty shocked by how quickly I would gain on them on non corners that were technical. Like, the beginning of this course is very challenging and is not beneficial to my car. But then after that, there was a lot of areas of straightaways on the Nordschleifer, so then we end up kind of recovering it. But like, yeah, when they're still at their 70s, right there, they just took that the whole thing in the 70s, and I was in the 50s and had to brake a lot. Like, it's pretty shocking. Like, look at this. They didn't even brake there. Dropped down to 69. I broke, went down to 54. So that's a huge difference. So I was getting really, really nervous at this point, which is why I stopped talking, because I don't want to have to restart the whole game or restart this save file just so I don't have a tarnish on my 100% record. So I was like, I have to do something. But yeah, look at how slow they go once they get up in speed, and also how much slower the GTI Cup car is to the regular Cup car. Like, what's up with that? That's kind of shocking. But I mean, I'm going like 30 miles an hour. That's not true. I'm going 20 miles an hour faster than them, which is a lot, especially at in the 140s. Like, I'm getting up to 150, and they're at 130, and they were probably at 135. I mean, that's a big difference. But yeah, so I come in. I'm not there yet, but I try to get past them. I mean, because the AI in this game is so funny and they drive ghost pathing, like, you really cannot, you can't mess with them, or else they will just push you right off the road, which they did kind of all the time. So there was just not much I could do about that. But yeah, it's like trying to get around them is like impossible. Like, you try to pass by, I booped that guy, and then I went flying, and then hit the wall and slowed down a lot. Then I off-roaded it to make up for the lost time because I was nervous. But I don't think that really, again, I don't think it really made much of a difference. Like, it kind of caught me up, but I was still all over the place and slowed down a lot anyway. And I wasn't going to get any more time anyway. And then they ended up pushing me back off the road right here anyway. So, I don't know. That was kind of a hilarious race. Like, I pushed him, but then they really pushed back. And then I went off the road because I didn't want to hurt him too much. But then I came crashing back on, pushed him off. Then he slams me and knocks me back into sixth place. So their places didn't even change from all that. And then I pushed the yellow one again. I'm trying to just use them as like a wall, but then I was doing, this car is so hard to turn that I was like actually struggling to do this. So it ended up being, all that ended up happening is the orange GTI Cup car got further ahead. I think that's like all that happened. I gave this yellow car a couple boosts of speed, and then I tried to destroy the blue one, and then nothing happened. So all that happened is I kind of got close to them, and then went back to sixth. And I pretty much lost time. I probably lost more time after all that crap, because I'm at that point I was down to 8 again. The worst I got to was 10 after the opening part of the course, because that's like super technical, and I was doing terrible. But after that it was fine. It's just so hilarious to see how much faster the 2000s one is. I wasn't expecting this. I was surprised when they moved the lineup the way they did. So like, he's going up to what, 90, 100-ish? 100? Yeah, 100. And then this guy goes not to there. And so I end up passing the yellow one. Then I go flying off the road like an idiot again, because I'm still just trying to figure out how to take these corners. Like, I'm watching them take the corners, and I'm like, I can do that, and then I couldn't do it. This car cannot turn like the Cup cars. I mean, maybe if I like put on racing suspension, racing brakes, soft tires, all that, but I didn't, so that's why I couldn't. But so but once the straightaways come, I go flying past all these people. I mean, they're not even they're going 100. They're not even going 100. So, yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, I think I destroyed the yellow one again, which is why he's so far behind, but I don't really know. Who knows, honestly? I mean, no one's ever going to pass anybody in this anyway because of the fact that the AI, they're too similar in speed, so they're probably just never going to pass each other. What's going to happen is these two dudes are going to battle the rest of the race. Even when I come in there, I think they still battled, and then that's it. So, yeah. But I did ruin the yellow one's race too. I forgot about that. I think I already said that already. But I mean, again, go around the outskirts, try to go on the inside, but then the car literally doesn't turn because it's a road car that I've tuned up to faster than a Cup car. So of course it's going to struggle. But then I dust them on speed. So all that you have to do is just get to a straightaway. That's why the NOS was coming in handy. I was using a lot of the nice NO2 because I was like, I gotta try to keep up with the front cars for the last straightaway. I didn't expect to get this far, this close to them, and I also didn't expect to get that far ahead of them on the straight, but I really did. So I started to drive much cleaner. You know, again, they drive ghost paths, so if you're in their way, they will just shove you out of the way. So some of this stuff isn't actually me. It's just when I do a turn and it's not perfect, they just will bulldoze you out of the way. And that's just part of the way the AI is in GT4, which is hilarious. But yeah, they handle their corners super well. Like even there, like how did he not just fly off the road? But it's like he can, and so kind of bottled that turn a little bit, go off the road slightly, but then he passes me. But I drive overall much cleaner. I don't slam them anymore afterwards, so that's good. But it is just so funny that they just kind of watched me bottle everything, and honestly, it didn't even really change the placements, which is kind of surprising. I think that's exactly the lineup that they were in at the start, so I don't think I changed anything. It's pretty hilarious and pretty bad. My driving was pretty bad at the beginning. It definitely picked it up, definitely got better, but this was definitely some of the worst driving I had to do, and so I kind of, I became less reckless and more just kind of focusing on the corners and trying to stay on the road and not slam anybody and anything like that. This part, the guy just kind of cuts right in front of me as I'm trying to get around him on the outside there, and so I just kind of, that was one of those ones where I pushed him a little bit, but he kind of pushed me too, and it's whatever. So at this point, everyone's very spaced out, so I don't know if the red one gets passed by the green one. I don't think they actually are near, they are not as close as I thought they were going to be, but we'll see what happens because I still was battling the red one on the final corner and on that beginning of the long straight. So he didn't get a good. Both didn't get good exits. So maybe that will end up impacting if the green one comes up. But yeah, it's shocking that the 03 is so much worse than the 2001. Like I didn't really expect that. I also love how you can see they didn't really fix this car. It's some of its livery stuff is still very pixelated from GT3, so I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, actually, I let him draft me, so that's how come he got so fast. But yeah, I'm like flying at this point, going 140s. They're still in their 110s. I mean, that's what makes the biggest difference is like I'm going 148. I'm nearing my top speed with this car actually, and they're still at 119. I mean, that does it. That's what makes the difference, is you just see a sharp decrease in their top speed. And so that's what's interesting about this course and racing these things. It's a very challenging race because of the fact that, yeah, you have to be able to handle them on tight corners somewhat, just enough to stay close so that you can then pass them on straights, which is like what I did here, and ended up getting super duper far ahead of them. But like, yeah, I'm not good on technical courses with this car, especially not against them. Like even the AI is like sliding the car around right now, and they're finished with the race, so it's pretty good. Good challenge to use every car that you win in this game. Got getting the Lupo 1.4 done. So didn't think I'd have to use this so quickly and challenge myself this much, but here we go. And we got it done. So now we're moving on to race 3, which we'll do in a second. So, or next week, sorry. Thank you all for all that you do, and hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm sure y'all are gonna send me some comments for this one. Peace.